Hey everybody, it's Beth Bond with Southeast Green, and I am so excited to be here with Christine. Christine, tell us who you are and where we are.
Hello, I am Kristan Pitts, and welcome to Amy's House by Sustaining Way. I am the community coordinator for this project here in Nicholtown in Greenville, South Carolina. So a little bit about what we do as an organization. Sustaining Way works to find and teach sustainable practices, and we do that by setting up demonstration sites. Amy's House is our first demonstration site, and the site consists of a home that is designed with energy efficient technology and an edible organic landscape. So I will give you all a tour of some of the things that we have in the home. So we have incorporated different sustainable technologies into the design of this home, but also salvage materials. And it's really been a labor of love, and we've tried to engage the community as much as possible into this project, because ultimately it is an education site for them to learn more about sustainability. So some of the key things you'll see first are the pictures on the wall. And these are images that were submitted from youth, from the community, because we wanted to incorporate art pieces into our landscape design so that as they came by our site, they could remember that they had an opportunity to contribute to something that will be in their community long term. So we had them draw images that were themed around the quote, "Where there's no vision, there's no hope," by George Washington Carver, and what we do here as an organization. So we have these images here, and once we get outside, we'll also be able to see the art piece that is the centerpiece of the edible organic landscape in the backyard, and ultimately we'll also incorporate a solar panel into that art piece to be able to provide some lighting in some of the areas in our garden. As far as other pieces in the home, upstairs the home is kind of been a combination of both traditional building materials, sustainable technologies, and then salvage materials. So the walls upstairs, we incorporated SIPs into the home. And if you aren't familiar with SIPs, it is a structured insulated panel, which helps keep the home well insulated and sealed, which helps with energy cost, of course. So when we design nonprofit here in the upstate that builds homes for low-income families and seniors. And of course, some of the older homes in our communities have issues. Those families have issues with higher energy bills because their homes aren't sealed very well. So we wanted to be able to use this project as a prototype for that organization. So as they continue to build affordable homes both in this community and in communities around Greenville County, they can continue to incorporate those kinds of technologies into the bills to be able to help save those families money.
Now, is that affordable? I mean, can anybody do this?
Yes, so upfront costs, of course, are a little bit more. They're about 5 to 10% more than your traditional building materials. However, you gain those what you lose, you gain back in energy savings, less waste, because these are pre-manufactured off-site and they kind of go up like Legos. So the upstairs of the home went up in about a day.
Wow.
Because of that, you also save in labor costs. So overall, you definitely gain that back, what you lose with the upfront cost.
Mm-hmm. All right, now show me these floors. These floors are gorgeous.
So when we first purchased this property, there were 2 homes on site. The home that was where we are now was very dilapidated, so we partnered with the city to have it torn down, and we salvaged as many materials as possible. So we incorporated that into the floors upstairs in the home, but also once we get outside, our chicken coop was also built with some of the salvage materials that we were able to salvage from the home.
So the chickens got a recycled house too?
They definitely did.
All right, excellent. Now I saw this wood stove. Tell me about the wood stove.
So this is a little bit different from your traditional wood burning stove. This is a wood pellet stove. And wood pellets are made out of compacted sawdust, which normally when trees are cut, that sawdust is a byproduct and it normally goes to a landfill, but they were able to compact this and create a fuel. So we utilize this stove instead of adding a traditional wood burning stove.
Now, what kind of savings are you seeing during the winter by using a wood oven? Right, because I mean, you have a fuel cost because you've got the pellets, but I'm assuming it's not as much as natural gas or electricity.
Definitely. So in addition to the design, we also utilize energy efficient kind of practices in our daily lives. Both the staff members who live on site, this is a rotational developmental role, and we are supposed to kind of demonstrate an example of sustainable living and practices in our lifestyles. So in the wintertime, we normally keep our heat as cool as possible, so normally on like 60, below 60, 65. On the cooler nights, we use this, and this kind of heats the home for about 4 to 5 days, so we actually don't even use it as much as we possibly would need it if our home wasn't as well sealed as it is. So our goal is to get our bill under 50, but we've been able to stay in the 55, 60 range.
Wow.
During our winter months. And then in the summer months, of course, we keep our HVAC system on a warmer temperature, and we utilize ceiling fans in each of the rooms.
And this is this, I'm getting, there we go, smart.
Yeah. So, and it's on a
thermostat.
timer. So when it kicks on, it'll be on 60, but the home is 71 degrees. And we also, like I mentioned, sustainable practices. So during the daytime, we have our blinds open, which also helps with natural lighting. That helps to cut energy costs as well. So of course your two largest energy hogs are your HVAC system and your dryer. So when you can use them as little as possible, that always helps with energy savings.
Great.
It's something we try to demonstrate with our community.
We're moving into the kitchen, and I see green onions. Did you grow this in your
So
garden?
actually, these did not come from our garden. Our fall garden, we had some, but we were actually picking up some trees yesterday. So the farmer who had these, he gave them to us when we were coming to pick up the trees from him.
Awesome.
So it's been a great opportunity with our site, and being in this developmental role, we're still learning a lot. So a lot of the local farmers here they have definitely been able to teach us, and we've been able to learn and exchange different types of practices.
Great.
So this is our kitchen area. And like I mentioned with the floors, we tried to incorporate as many salvage materials as possible. So there was another company in our community that had a lot of materials that were just left over from various projects. The name of that company is Campbell Tile. Now normally these extra materials, they couldn't really be used for anything, any of the projects that they would be working on. So they would have been either thrown away or sold to someone else. But more than likely thrown away because other companies in our community, most of them do larger projects. So we were able to take these salvage materials and incorporate them into our kitchen and into our bathroom. So as we continue to walk, you'll continue to see different salvage materials throughout the home. So the home is 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So we'll go over into the first bathroom space. Okay, so this is the upstairs bathroom, and this is the upstairs bedroom. And as I mentioned, you see the salvage materials of the flooring and the countertop, like in the kitchen, that was donated from Campbell Tile.
And is it a low flush toilet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And downstairs we incorporated the dual flush, so you'll get to see that once we go into the bathroom down there. This is the upstairs bedroom. So this is my room, and some other things you might have noticed as we were walking through was the large amount of windows that we incorporated into the home. And we did that, of course, to be able to encourage energy savings by the use of natural lighting. We also incorporated lighter colored paints into the home as well, because the reflective quality also helps to help with savings with energy costs with lighting. And all the paints, both inside and outside, are low or no VOCs, which are volatile organic compounds. They have negative impacts both on the environment and on our breathing. The ones outside are low, the ones inside are no VOCs, but we still try to incorporate indoor plants that are both medicinal and ornamental to kind of add and improve the air quality inside the home as well.
And I see you're growing pineapples.
Yes, so I am attempting to grow a pineapple. So I'm trying to wait for it to sprout, and then I'll put it in soil. From what I've read, it'll take 2 to 3 years before it grows in our climate, so we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, we're navigating stairs now, y'all, so we're going to go slow.
home is 2-bedroom, 2-bath. This is our downstairs bathroom. So I live on site with another young man who serves in our sustainability coordinator role. His name is Caleb. So he does, most of his work will be focused on working on the landscape. But in his bathroom, which is also used as our bathroom for volunteers, we've also incorporated the dual flush toilet. So when we first started as an organization, the home next door, we retrofitted. And that served as our hub of operations. Now that home is being used in a program called GAIN, which stands for Greenville Area Interfaith Network. In that program, homeless families, they go through a network of about 25 churches until interim housing is available. And then they provide those families with the resources they need to then become financially stable and transition into long-term housing. With the home next door that once was our hub of operations is now being used for interim home, and we were also able to incorporate the dual flush toilet and the low flow fixtures into the home next door as well. So it's been a wonderful teaching tool, and it helps that organization save on those bills. So this is our media center. And we use this as a multifunctioning space. We host events with the community. We're getting ready to do our plant start. So that's why it's a little messy down here right now. Getting ready for some volunteers in the next few days. But yes, so this is our kind of multi-purpose room. We also have an office space and a lending library, and the community can come and check out these books. They're on various sustainability topics, organic gardening, green building, global warming, things of that nature. But before we go outside, the key picture I want you to look at is this one. It says, "Welcome to the jungle." So our organization is about 5 years old now. And this is what the backyard looked like when we first purchased the property. And through the work of the community and volunteers from the business community here in the upstate and throughout the nation, because we've had some groups from around the nation come out and serve with us, this is where we've progressed to.
Okay, so I'm just going to say we may lose Wi-Fi. So if we lose Wi-Fi, we'll go on, take a tour, and we'll come back another day. But let's see how far we get.
Yes. So this is our landscape, or the back part of the property. So as I mentioned, we're a demonstration site, so we are trying to incorporate different types of gardening practices into the edible landscape. Some of the key things you'll probably first notice are the trees and shrubs that we have. So we have about 35 trees on the property, both front and back. We have some natives here, some pawpaws, elderberries, and we have several variety of plums, pomegranate, service berries, so a large variety of fruit and nut trees. We also have hazelnuts and pecans. So to help with erosion, the back part of the property, we try to incorporate the terrace gardens. So we have that here. We also have done hugelkultur beds and sheet mulching. We also have raised beds, which for our community is the choice most people choose. And for people who don't have kind of spaces in which they can garden, in the summer we also do potted edibles as well, to kind of demonstrate that, so that people who live, their living situations are different. They'll have like different options to pick and choose from. We also do water collection on site. So we have 2 rain barrels currently, but we're working to integrate more. And these are my favorite because in addition to being the lids for our rain barrels, they also serve as mini planters. So we've planted some spinach and some herbs here, and some of them are starting to come up, which is wonderful.
I want to see, because this is pretty cool to have the rain barrel with the garden on top.
So we purchased ours, but there are also other options where you can utilize 30-gallon trash cans. And for some of the other rain barrels that we're going to incorporate into the site, we want to also utilize that to kind of demonstrate an affordable option.
Now, because of the terrain with such a strong slope, I would imagine y'all have a lot of issues with water.
We do have a lot of issues with water erosion. It's definitely had an impact on the riverbank here. So the Reedy River runs through our backyard. So to protect both our property and the health of the river, we've gone in and we've done some riparian work here. But our partner, First Baptist, we've also done some riparian work over there and incorporated a rain garden. So our site here, Annie's House by Sustaining Way, the church across the walkway here called First Baptist. And then there's another site, our YMCA on Cleveland Street. We're trying to create a corridor of sustainability to serve as an educational opportunity for people who utilize our walking trail here in the upstate called the Swamp Rabbit Trail, to be able to allow our sites to really be a educational opportunity for families as they utilize that, but also different educational groups that come through as well.
Awesome. All right, we're going to talk about the chickens for a minute, and then we're going to finish up. So, are you feeding your chickens scraps?
So we are feeding them a combination of a lot of things. So
Okay.
yes, we feed them food scraps and organic feed as well. But we're trying to get to a place where we grow all their food, but we've had to supplement this fall. And we've also incorporated more birds. We started off with 6. And now we have 12, and we'll be incorporating more. So as we get more, we want to be able to have a system where we can provide all their food, grow all their food. But we've had some challenges. So we're still learning and incorporating different things into the site. So we're hoping to incorporate aquaponics or hydroponics pretty soon. And that'll be a way that we'll be able to provide them food all year long.
Great. Kristan?
Kristan, yes.
Kristan,
ma'am.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
You rock.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work.
Of course.
We
thank you.
appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Bye.